And then there were two or four or eight, no, 16 episodes of Top of the Standings already. Wow, this came at us fast, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll tell you, it's been a very fun, action-packed 16 episodes so far. And on this first day of November, oh, we definitely do have a lot of our plates. The World Series obviously was crazy, but oh boy, you can't tell me football hasn't been heating up lately. That's all coming up on the season finale of Top of the Standings with Andrew and Jotham. But first, a word from our amazing sponsor, Anchor. Anchor is a completely free and easy to use platform for podcasting. A computer or even a mobile device with a functional internal or external microphone is all you need to start recording your podcast with Anchor. When you do finish recording your podcast audio, you can simply edit it and upload it to the biggest podcasting platforms like iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and more. If you were like me and you didn't have the foggiest clue on how to start a podcast, then Anchor is the perfect place to start. For more information, go to anchor.fm on the web or download the Anchor app on your mobile device. Andrew, I don't care what you say. Brett Phillips is a legend.
I think you should say Randy Arozarena is a legend.
Oh yeah, they're both legends. But I want to highlight my man Brett Phillips because he is a perfect exemplification of what that entire Rays team was. Just came out of nowhere. Nobody even, you know, really knew who they were until they really, started making noise in the postseason. Yeah, okay, yeah, they made the postseason last year against the Astros, but nobody expected them to beat, or even let alone hang with those Astros. Took them to 5, and people didn't really even feel like it. But this year, bro, oh yeah, the Rays definitely made their name heard.
Yeah, they did. It was fun to watch too because it's not often you see those sleeper teams with not many known players really make some noise. I mean, last year we saw the Nationals, but if you look at their pitching staff, those are some
Right.
very well known pitchers. So this was very cool to see the Rays make it this far with this quite unknown team.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I was having a blast, and you know what? The Rays definitely were the most beloved baseball team in this postseason because, okay, yeah, they beat the Blue Jays. I mean, that could have, I mean, that wouldn't have angered anybody really, but they beat the Yankees, who have a huge payroll, and then they went out and beat the almighty Astros, and everybody's just like, oh yeah, thank you Tampa Bay. And I mean, although they didn't beat the Dodgers, man, the run was legendary. That was a legendary run. It didn't even feel like they were a 1 seed.
Yeah, they really played against three notorious teams of the MLB, the three hated teams, and they got past two, but the Dodgers just proved to be a better team in the end. But man, that was a very exciting series. But I want to talk about what happened in that game 6. Blake Snell rolling, and then he gives up his second hit, and Kevin Cash is like, "Nah, you're done." I mean, I get that they don't like to have their pitchers go around the third time around the lineup, but man, when Blake Snell is rolling, that was one of his best starts this postseason. I think it was his best start, and then you decide to take him out in that game. That really cost them this game and the World Series.
Dude, did you look at his stat line, bro? My man was in the 6th inning with 73 pitches. 73 pitches, and this is what I'm confused about. So, and I believe it was game 2. He let Tyler Glasnow go 112 in like five in the middle of the 5th inning. He let Tyler Glasnow go 112. I'm just like, okay, so he's definitely gonna let Blake Snell go ahead and at least get to 80, right? But he yanked him after a soft base hit by freaking Austin Barnes. Bro, if you look at what Blake did against the top 4 Dodger hitters, bro, the against Blake Snell, Mookie Betts, Justin Turner, I believe Max Muncy, and Corey Seager combined for 1 for 16 and like 11 strikeouts against Blake Snell in this series. You mean to tell me that you pull Blake Snell and he's shutting down that Dodgers lineup, the heart of the Dodgers lineup, like that? Bro, he had 9 strikeouts in 5 innings, bro. How do you pull him in that situation? Mookie was looking trash. Corey Seager looked like he finally reached his peak or reached the end of his peak. And then Justin Turner and Max Muncy were looking like, back to normal. But no, you pull Blake Snell. And not only did he pull Blake Snell, he pulled Blake Snell and put in Nick Anderson, bro, who had allowed a run in 6 straight appearances, bro. And I'm just like, oh no. And not only that, he inserted him, Nick Anderson, at the heart of that Dodgers lineup. And Mookie Betts loves those fastballs, bro. And I'm just like, dude, even if you want to use analytics, that was not a good move. You put in Nick Anderson. It's not even analytics. It's common sense. Your ace is dealing. Your reliever, your supposedly best reliever, is absolutely struggling in the postseason. What sense did that make, bro? I was so heated.
Yeah, you took literally the exact words out of my mouth. I was going to mention Nick Anderson and his struggles in the postseason. Yeah, I did not agree with the move at all. Again, this was Blake Snell's best appearance in the postseason, and he looked like vintage Blake Snell. And then you put in Nick Anderson, who has struggled all postseason, had a 5.52 ERA, and I think one of his first few pitches, he throws a wild pitch. I was like, oh, this game's over. This game's over.
Bro, as soon as Mookie hit that ball past the third base line, you just had a feeling. Oh no, because I'm like, there's no way this dude is gonna strike out the side like Blake Snell's been doing to the Dodgers all game long. But you know what sucks about it the most for me? The first run of the game wasn't even really earned by the Dodgers. That was a wild pitch that tied the game. And I'm just like, oh, here we go. Here we go again. Dodgers baseball, so predictable.
Yeah, it was definitely not. I mean, it probably wasn't the Dodgers' like best performance. I mean, their bullpen really, really carried the game, but the Rays' one run was very fitting. Randy Arozarena hits his 10th home run, and which broke the record, and it was the last run the Rays scored, and I thought that was very fitting for the postseason that he had.
For the postseason that the Rays had. That man was putting the offense on his back the entire postseason.
Yep.
Freaking 10 home runs. He was setting records left and right. And who cares about he had an extra round, bro? It's not like the extra round was a whole 7-game series. It was just 2 games. And plus, even if the Rays were a wild card team, bro, you still would play one wild card game normally, but obviously they weren't a wild card team if it was the normal format. So just shut up about the whole it didn't count. It was bolstered by the extra games. Bro, who knew Randy Arozarena before the playoffs?
Probably Cardinals fans and the Rays fans who watched in the regular season. Other than that, no one.
Exactly. And that's why I am saying, first of all, can we just acknowledge that the number 10 is a sexy number? Can we just acknowledge that? There's so much good about the number 10. I just wanted to get that out there. But Randy Arozarena, yeah, bro, offense was on his back. And he carried them as long as he could. But in the end, bro, they failed him. I mean, yeah, Randy Arozarena had a chance in the second inning to really pour it on, with a runner on second and first. But dude, literally the bottom of the lineup was so atrocious. And outside of game 4, dude, it was so inconsistent and non-existent. I mean, they went from 10 hits in game 4 to just absolute just shut down. It was just like a flip. It was like a switch that just flipped on them.
Yeah, after Mike Zunino's home run in the earlier rounds, the bottom of the lineup just really struggled. That's what I noticed. I mean, no one could do anything. There's hardly any production. When you were almost praying that the top of that lineup would come up for the Rays, Randy Arozarena, and they got Lau. You got all those. I mean, decent hitters. I mean, Randy Arozarena really again carried the Rays offense, and he was the only one who did anything in the game 6. Had the home run. So it was definitely it was a tough ending for that Rays offense for sure.
And just when you take away a Arozarena, this is a team that gets eliminated in round 1. I mean, dude, Brandon Lau was struggling, not just in the World Series, but in the postseason so badly. And Yeah, he hit 3 home runs. Brandon Lowe did in the World Series, but he's a starter, and those were his only 3 hits in the World Series. Like, dude, come on, man. The Rays. Look, the Rays. You want people want to say they're a young team. Yeah, they're relatively young. This is their first go at it in the World Series since 2008. This is a brand new team. Whole new team, I should say. And they ain't been here before. The Dodgers, they're hungry. They've been through so much heartbreak. So it was only fair and scripted enough that the Los Angeles Dodgers would win this World Series.
Mm.
But bro, it just the predictability is what pisses me off the most. Because you just had that feeling that the Dodgers were going to have that one inning where they just go.
Yeah, that's really how they won the World Series. I mean, if you look at teams who have won the World Series in prior years, the winner usually has consistent like 1 innings. I mean, if you look at the Nats from last year, you got Howie Kendrick hits his home run, and that's about all they did. You know what I mean? So I think it's just where and when you have those fantastic 1 innings, and that ultimately was how the Dodgers were able to come out on top. And you were talking about it having almost like a being scripted a little bit, but I'm going to tell you an interesting fact. In 1988, the Lakers won the NBA title and the Dodgers won the World Series. No city had won baseball and basketball in the same year until this year when the Lakers and the Dodgers did it again.
Let alone the same month.
Yeah.
Dude, how maddening does it get? Yeah, it's great. Both teams snapped their droughts. But man, it was so predictable. This might be the first championship that I have meaningfully predicted correctly. It sucked.
Hey, I almost got the entire NL correct, other than the Marlins. If the Marlins, didn't want to keep their streak alive and lost to the Cubs, I would have been perfect on the NL side. The AL side was a little bit more tough to predict, but hey, I'll take an NL, almost perfect NL. But yeah, that was a, like you said, pretty predictable. I knew the Dodgers were gonna win after they came back from 3-1 against the Braves. There's no way they were gonna
Losing.
lose to the Rays. I mean, it was tough. I mean, I heard something interesting a while ago when Justin Verlander was still, or actually, it was his first game back in Detroit, and he was talking about how the reason they lost the 2 World Series while he was a Tiger. He said it was because when they got to the World Series, they either swept or quickly got rid of the opponent before the World Series, and then the other team would like drag it out to, let's say, a Game 7. So the team that would drag it out to a Game 7 would be like have all that momentum, whereas the Tigers, who were sitting down and waiting for their opponent, would not. So I feel like that might have been a key for the Dodgers to continuously have that momentum after coming back from 3-1 and then getting right back to playing. I feel like that helped them a lot, but I just knew it. I mean, I think everyone knew the Dodgers were the best team. They had the best record. I'm not surprised by this, and I'm not a Dodger hater. I'm happy for them. It was their first World Series since '88. Congrats to the Dodgers.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for that Dodgers team too. I will say I'm glad that they snapped the drought, but I want to see other teams win the World Series.
Oh, I
I
agree. I,
really
I agree. I'd love to see the Marlins. I know they've won it before, but that would just be interesting. I'd like to see the Blue Jays too. There's so many teams I'd like to see.
so just had to be that team of all teams. Okay, yeah, bro. That's the game. But let me talk about after the game, because this is still 2020, and we are still in the middle of a pandemic. So MLB, how does Justin Turner test positive during the game? During the World Series? How does that happen?
Didn't they say he also tested positive before the game as well? Dude, that is crazy. I don't know. I mean, and then they say they are restricting him from coming out onto the field. If you watch the post game celebration, he was sure there. I guess he just defied security and enforcement, and went out there without his mask too, touching all over the trophy. Ugh, it was like Rob Manfred said, a bittersweet ending.
Oh yes. Hold on. We gonna talk about Rob Manfred later, but yeah, dude, this was just such a controversial move by JT, man. I mean, I know I get it. You love the game. You glad you won the World Series after all those tumultuous finishes over the years and stuff. And, everybody loves you as a LA fan and blah 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 this and that. But dude, if you know you, I mean, this is something I know I don't get. If you know you have the virus, and I don't know if it was a false positive or anything like that. If it was a false positive, then I don't even know what to say about the MLB anymore. But since it was positive, bro, if you know you have it, why are you around your teammates? That's what I don't understand. And not only around your teammates, around some of your teammates' kids, your teammates' families.
Yeah.
That's something I don't get. I get the adrenaline, the rush of winning the World Series. I get it. Championships are so grateful, and you want to prove Rob Manfred in his face that is not just a piece of metal. I get it, but dude, it is still a pandemic, and you are infected by the virus. We gotta stay safer out here, man. We gotta stay safer.
How did that happen though? That's what I'm confused about. If you're in a bubble and no one is really let in or out, how does that happen?
And where did he go? Did he do something on Monday on that off day? I mean, I don't know, man. But all I know is that the Dodgers won the World Series. Justin Turner, almost could have set the world on fire had the Rays won that game and forced a game 7. And Rob Manfred just, bro, what did I just hear from him in the post game show? Oh my goodness.
Dude, he was either drunk or I don't know, very nervous. I mean, if you heard him talking, it sounded like he was talking in slow motion. Honestly, I mean, I don't know what was up with him. I almost couldn't watch. I was like, oh no, this is bad. And then he also was getting booed. I'm not surprised. I mean, that's like a tradition. Every commissioner in every sport gets booed. And then it was awkward in his intro speech. The boos started getting very loud, and then he just stops and pauses and waits till the boos are over. I was like, oh my gosh, oh, this is awkward. Yeah, I don't know what was up with him. Uh, uh, I have no words because I was so lost watching that.
Yeah, and I would be a little bit scared too. The team that I had to deal with a scandal, well, not directly with the scandal, but actually, yeah, directly with a scandal because they were robbed. The Dodgers were robbed. People want to say from 2 rings in back-to-back years by the Dodgers and I mean the Astros and the Red Sox. People, so the Dodgers are heated, and the way you handled the scandal, people, especially the Dodgers, are looking at you like, "Come on, dude." And now that the Dodgers won it fair and square in his face, I would be a bit, if I was Rob Manfred, I'd be a little bit cautious with what I say too. But dude, I mean, he was at like 0.6 playback speed. You know how you're on YouTube video, you can slow down. Yeah, that man was like on 0.6 speed. I'm like,
He was
whoa,
in
what?
slow motion.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my goodness. And then, dude, when he presented the World Series MVP to Corey Seager, it was just the pinnacle of awkward.
Dude, they
Oh
both
my
like looked
god.
up and down at the trophy, and then Corey Seager tried to put it back down. Oh my gosh, that was bad, dude. I don't know what was going on. That was awkward.
I don't get it, man. That was funny, but yeah, it was a great postseason, man. As much as I hate the Dodgers winning, I gotta say congratulations to them and great teams. All around. It was fun to see this postseason format. I hope it comes back.
So, yeah.
I really do.
Hey, speaking of Rob Manfred, he said it might. He said he liked it. I wouldn't be mad at it. I think it made it a little bit more exciting. I like the. I don't. I'm not the biggest fan of the 2-game elimination. I feel like that's almost unfair. You know what I mean? Like you can have one bad game, and then have another, or like one good game and then lose both. I don't like it that much. I would rather have one or three, best of three, or 1-game elimination. I'm not a fan of the two, but you know, it is what it is. I did like the format. I liked how we got more teams in there. Yeah, I enjoyed the season. It went by so fast, and I'm looking forward to next season whenever that starts. Hopefully normal time, but whenever it does, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to it. AJ Hinch, a Detroit Tiger. Let's go.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So is a freaking what is his name? Tommy LaRusso.
Yeah,
LaRusso for the White Sox.
yeah, dude. 76 years old.
Dude,
Ugh.
he's 59 years older than me, and he's managing.
Mm.
This is I can't wrap my head around this stuff, man. But you know what? I also can't wrap my head around how I just bet on Michigan time and time and time again,
Let's
and they
go.
always fail
Let's
me.
go, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I made that pick last week, not one bit of confidence in my body whatsoever. Because how could I be confident? Michigan State lose to Rutgers. They had 7 turnovers, and they looked like the worst team in college football. 1 week makes a big difference. Mel Tucker brought his team to the big house, and they showed him who is the little sister of the state, and that's Michigan. Michigan,
Hey, sister!
mm,
Oh my
little
god!
sister of the state. Not even a brother. You're a little sister. Oh, I was. I mean, I couldn't get excited during the beginning. I mean, that long touchdown pass to Ricky White, who had 195 yards. Impressive. That was the second most against Michigan in the Michigan rivalry. Rocky Lombardi had around 300 yards. They were going off. But again, I couldn't get too excited until maybe like the fourth quarter because, man, you never know with Michigan State. And I'm happy with how I picked it. I mean, I again had no confidence and it worked out. It was a low risk, high reward. I'm happy for Michigan State. I'm happy for Mel Tucker, who is the first Michigan State coach to win his first game against Michigan since Nick Saban. Wow.
God, dog.
That
Yeah, dude, I can
that's
tell
crazy.
that there was so much. Oh, there was so much hype, and I'm looking at the box score after the game, just thinking to myself. So Rocky Lombardi, even though he completed just over 50% of his passes, just over.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
What matters is that 323 and those 3 TDs.
Look at Ricky White though. That man went off. That's a freshman.
196,
That's a freshman.
bro. Dude, this rolls so many questions to me. Like, just how bad is Minnesota for losing to Michigan like
Exactly.
that, and how good is Northwestern for clipping Maryland, and then Maryland going out there and clipping Minnesota on the last play of the game.
I'm very confused by this Big Ten season too. I mean, in the first 2 weeks, we've seen Rutgers beat Michigan State, a former blue blood of the Big Ten. Then we see Rutgers go to Indiana, who beat Penn State, and then Rutgers loses to Indiana. So I think Indiana's pretty good.
Actually, that game against Indiana was on the road.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
I think Indiana's pretty good. And then we obviously saw Penn State lose to Ohio State. I don't think
Ah,
anyone was surprised by that one. And then Maryland, like I'm confused as to what has happened in the Big Ten so far. It's going to be very interesting, but I don't know, man. Ohio State looks pretty dangerous as usual.
man, see, this is what sucks because I actually wouldn't mind Ohio State winning the national championship this
Are you
year.
serious? Are you
Why?
serious?
Why? Because I understand I'm supposed to hate Ohio State as a Penn State fan, but I have been getting a tad bit tired of the dominance of Alabama and Clemson. Although it's always been those 3 teams really in the hunt every single year.
I don't know. I can't ever root for Ohio State. I don't like them.
No, no, no. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not
Oh, I
rooting
know.
for
I
Ohio
know. You
State.
would prefer them to beat a powerhouse like Clemson or Alabama. Yeah, all right. I would not root for Ohio State. I would not prefer Ohio State. I would prefer probably Clemson because again, I mean, Clemson has had probably the shortest amount of dominance out of the 3. So,
You got it. You got it right.
I mean, I don't mind Clemson. I definitely, again, would prefer them over Ohio State or Alabama, or maybe even like a Georgia as well. I don't know. I'd probably take Georgia over a few of those teams. But anyway, yeah, you will never ever catch me preferring Ohio State over other teams. Except
Yeah, but
Michigan,
you
probably.
probably might not. Oh yeah, yeah. Michigan is public enemy number one like that, bro.
100%. Little sister.
Oh dang, man. Well, that's gonna get a little bit shorter because Oklahoma State, uh, that might have been the Big 12 dagger. Crap.
Yeah, the Big 12 is a confusing conference. I don't even know what to think of it. I mean, then Kansas State loses. So, uh,
Well, you know what sucks about Kansas State? They lost Skylar Thompson for the year, their starting
did they
quarterback.
really? Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, that was very tough. So Kansas State, I mean, that's unfortunate. They went through like a Dak Prescott type thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I don't.
I would consider Kansas State even better than the Cowboys at that point.
Well, yeah. I mean, Kansas State isn't terrible,
No.
but they're no longer in the Big 12 race in my mind. It's been. I mean, I'm praying for Oklahoma State, Iowa State in the Big 12 championship. I don't want to see Texas or
Dude, that just
Oklahoma.
sounds like a March Madness matchup.
I remember. I think that was a matchup in the actual Big 12
So,
conference.
I'm sure both of those teams
Pardon.
have had some good players come out of it. I mean, Marcus Smart coming from Oklahoma State. Then you got so many random like Iowa State players that you would never think of. But yeah, back to football.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is so annoying, bro. Like Oklahoma State was on the rise, and then Texas they had their shots, and then they screwed it up in recent years. And now you want to win games. Now you want to choose to win games.
I I still don't think they're good. I mean, they're obviously not gonna make the college football playoff. They're obviously I don't consider them back. No, they're not. Um, I don't. I really don't see much. I feel like they're a mediocre team. I wouldn't say they're terrible because we all know they're not, and they aren't great because again we all know they are not. So I feel like they're pretty mediocre. Um, but I kind of want to talk about the teams that are still undefeated, like Coastal Carolina and BYU. What? Why does that? Why are those two teams like insanely good?
Well, for Coastal Carolina, I have no idea. I mean, I've watched a couple of their games before, but I still cannot wrap my head around the fact that they are so good.
I
So good.
I would love to see him in a big bowl. I would love to see that. I would love to see it. I mean, Coastal Carolina. I don't think many people even knew that was a university
Football too.
or at all. Yeah, because the only way I am partially familiar with them is because they won the college baseball World Series. That's the only reason I know that Coastal Carolina exists. So I think they've been put on the map right now, and I think they are definitely going to gain some attention in the next few weeks if they continue their hot streak.
Oh yeah, definitely, because they are in the top 20.
And they're going to
And
move up. They're going to move up too.
oh yeah, Penn State's going to drop at the top
You think?
25. Watch.
That's tough.
I think Penn State needs to get out the top 25.
Yeah, take Michigan with you. No, I'm kidding. It was just a loss to Michigan State. If they lose next week, then do
Dude,
it.
dude, imagine if that drops them at the top 25. You're going to be so hyped.
Everyone
Oh my god.
takes them so seriously in their first game, just like they do in basketball as well. And then they lose a bad game, and they show their true selves, and then everyone's like, "Oh nah, this team they were capping. This team sucks."
Fuck, man, come on. That's But can we acknowledge that Boston College almost beat
Yeah,
Clemson?
that I would probably say that's one of their toughest losses in history, dude. They were up big and then they blow it. I mean, I'm not surprised by it. If I as soon as I saw Boston College go up, I mean, you see these smaller schools. I mean, Boston College isn't that small, but lesser known football schools, and then like go up big on a top five opponent, like we saw with the Citadel a few years ago against Alabama. I was like, "Up is Alabama on upset alert?" They're not. I mean, when you see those big number one teams against unranked teams, most of the time those number one, number two, number three teams are going to come back. It's if they didn't, it would be embarrassing, and I'm not surprised that Clemson did. They do have a tough matchup next week though.
Oh yeah, especially without Trevor
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's make these picks, man, because this This is a swing game. This is definitely a swing game. Who you got? Is Clemson going to do it against Notre Dame?
This is a tough one because I'm not really confident in Notre Dame either. I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, their resume is so good." Okay, do you remember what happened in 2018? Their resume was so good, right? They went to the Cotton Bowl, right? Right? Yeah, they scored 3 points.
Against the same
3 points against Clemson. 3 points. They got blown out. They got obliterated. And that's why I don't have any confidence in Notre Dame playing in those big playoff games because the same result is going to happen. They play these I wouldn't consider like the teams that they play like super bad, but when you like any Big Ten team or um any team outside of the SEC that then plays an SEC team in the playoff most of the time gets absolutely obliterated because the SEC and the SEC is a top-notch conference, and then Clemson, obviously not in the SEC, but when you play it, Clemson as Notre Dame, it's gonna be always gonna be tough, no matter who's the quarterback. And I just think the Clemson has too many weapons. I'm not. I mean, I'm not a believer in Notre Dame ever. I mean, sure they look good until they play in that big game at the end of the year. Other than that, I don't see much out of Notre Dame. Clemson, they were a little shaky. I mean, they still put up points. They still look good. Travis Etienne, he is he is fantastic. One of the best players I've probably seen play in college. He year after year he is as consistent as ever. Great player. I'm going to take Clemson in this one.
I'm gonna have to agree. Although I'm gonna be rooting for Notre Dame hard. I want to see Notre Dame do something. I know you're not a believer, and I'm frankly not a believer either, because they only put up 12 on Louisville. Louisville.
I think this will be a prove it
Louisville.
game. A prove it game for sure.
Yes, and they've been blowing out these bad ACC teams lately. So I'm just like, okay, well, show us what you're made of at home under the lights on NBC, not on ESPN, not on ABC. You on NBC. This is not only your home game. This is your home network. So what's up? Just let's see what Notre Dame football is all about. But I don't think they're gonna get it done.
If they get blown out without Trevor Lawrence, this team is not good. This team's not good. I think we can say this team is always overrated.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Clemson, man. I was gonna get bold and pick Notre Dame because I felt like, their defense would be good enough to shut down that boy DJ. But I don't know, man. This could go either way. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick Clemson because I mean, we just seen more from them against big competition.
Yeah.
If you want to call it big competition, Miami.
I mean, Clemson, I just think they're good enough with the teams that they play that when they get to that big game, the college football playoff or whatever, they are just better than their opponent. And for a team like Notre Dame, I feel like sure they beat some of these teams badly, but still, this is no those teams are nowhere near Clemson.
Yeah, you are right. Okay, I called an indoor cocktail party and failed, but we will have an outdoor cocktail party. Florida, Georgia. Who you picking?
Interesting. Did you see that brawl last night against Missouri?
Oh my
Missouri,
gosh.
Florida, dude. I was getting hyped watching that. I was like, oh my gosh, they it wasn't even like it was weird. It was like they were both on like standing on their sides of like the pile, and they would just run in and like throw a punch, back up, run back in and throw a punch. It was really interesting. And then Dan Mullen comes out and then just starts hyping up the crowd. That was
WWE style.
Yes, exactly. That was interesting. But dude, this is gonna be a tough game because I feel like both of these teams are inconsistent. This is tough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. I don't know much about either of these teams because again they're kind of inconsistent. I think I'm gonna take Florida in an upset. I'm not too familiar with Georgia. I'm gonna take Florida. I'm considering this an upset. Florida. I know they before last week they hadn't played in played a game in like a week because of the COVID situation. But I don't know. I like Kyle Trask. I feel like he's a good quarterback. I don't know. Again, I don't know much about Georgia. I'm gonna take Florida with an upset.
Oh wow, I disagree. I disagree in both aspects. This wouldn't be an upset even if Florida will win, and I think Georgia is gonna win. And you could say that I'm picking just because you picked Florida,
Mm-mm.
but
Mm-mm.
dude, I mean, outside of Alabama, the second half of Alabama, Georgia's been pretty darn good this year, and Florida. I called their loss to Texas A&M, so I know a little bit about what Florida's made of.
I don't
So
know. I'm just
yeah,
I'm just getting a gut feeling of like and I know you wouldn't call it an upset, but I feel like it would be an upset a little bit. Not a big one, but a mini
because you
upset.
beat me.
No, no, just because I think Georgia's ahead of Florida. I feel like they are technically a better team. I don't know. I just got a gut feeling that Florida can pull this one off. If they don't, I'm fine with it. I'm not too confident in this pick, but I'll take Florida. Sticking to
Well,
my homeland.
shoot, I mean, your gut didn't fail you with Michigan State. So I mean,
Sure
who
didn't.
knows at this point? Who knows at this point? But yeah, that's the cocktail party. I'm going with Georgia. You going with Florida? Cheers.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not old enough to drink, but
neither am I.
um, oh yeah, we know you aren't. But okay, we talked about Miami earlier, but they play NC State. Does NC State pull off the upset?
It's kind of an ugly game. These two teams don't really like appeal to me. Like when you see Miami, NC State, that's kind of um uh, I couldn't tell you one player on NC State. I couldn't really do the same with Miami, but again, I picked Florida. I'm going to stick with the homeland. I'm going to take Miami. I know they were good at the beginning of the season. I believe they had a few losses. I mean, obviously they lost to Clemson and whoever they lost
Mhm.
to before. I don't even know. I'm going to take Miami. I know nothing about NC State. I think Miami is a better team, so I'm going to take Miami.
I'm gonna pick NC State.
All right, we like the disagreements between the Florida and whoever they're playing.
Yeah, dude, I don't know why, but this has the feeling of one of those ACC games that the unranked team just beats the ranked team that is not Clemson.
I mean
It,
I could see it. I could really see it. Miami is again inconsistent, but NC State I don't know anything about, but I could see and I could just see the score of an upset arising. I mean, a crazy play at the end of the game. I could see it.
yeah, and I just don't know. I mean, this is a gut feeling for me too.
I like it.
So yeah, I mean, I'm only 140, but I got a big gut feeling. But yeah, okay. We got actually a very interesting game. This is actually a very, very interesting matchup. BYU and Boise State. This is actually a sexy matchup.
I was watching the end of the BYU game last night because I wanted to see the Sports Center highlights of the Michigan State win, and dude, the BYU game took forever, dude. It almost ended at like 12:40. 12:40. The game went on forever, and they were playing Western Kentucky, who they were blowing out, and then BYU decides to kick a field goal with like a minute left, and then they, I don't think they challenged it, but then there was a review of a fumble for Western Kentucky. It was taking too long, but from what I've seen of BYU, we picked their first game this year. Remember what happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if I can ever pick against them after
I know,
that.
right? Boise State, they were ranked 25, but this game is also being played at Boise State, I believe, on the blue turf.
Hmm.
There is some history on the blue turf between these two teams. But man, BYU 7-0 for the first time since 2001. That is impressive.
Hmm.
I'm going to take BYU. They haven't really had a close game against anyone or a game that they were tested. So this will definitely be one of those prove it games. But I think BYU has already proved it. I think they have proved their worth, and I'm looking forward to this one.
We might be on a roll here because I'm gonna pick Boise State.
I like it. I like the disagreements. Usually we agree a lot. I'm glad we have only our only agreement is on Clemson Notre Dame, which is probably the most random agreement that we could have because those teams are better than the rest of the other teams that we've picked, which is interesting.
Oh yeah.
I like it. I could probably see an upset. I mean, BYU, I think they are a little prone to upsets, and against Boise State, who I would consider a rival for BYU, I wouldn't be surprised. I like the pick. I like the disagreements. Let's go.
I like the matchups too.
Yeah,
These are not bad games to pick at
yeah.
all. But it's going to be a bad game to pick. because it's so predictable. How about Alabama LSU?
You know what? We're on a roll. I'm going to pick it. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to pick LSU. No way. After
Yo.
what after Auburn did to them, LSU is just terrible. I'm really shocked by that. I guarantee they're going to lose some recruits too because after their outstanding season last year, I'm guaranteed they had a ton of 5 stars, and those are all going to go goodbye because this LSU team is not good. I couldn't name who their quarterback was. I couldn't name a wide receiver or anyone. This team is not good. I mean, if you get absolutely blown out by Auburn, well, LSU, they are usually in it with those big games. Yesterday, they were not. Auburn destroyed them. I honestly don't think Alabama will destroy LSU. I think LSU might be hyped to get into this game and try and upset Alabama. Unfortunately, Alabama is like the Hulk, so this is Hulk against Ant-Man. And I'm gonna take Hulk against Ant-Man here. Alabama over LSU, and it's my pick.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take out my ears because I don't want to hear Alabama beating LSU again. But I'm gonna have to hear it again because I don't think LSU even stands. I mean, if the over under is 25, I will go under. But dude, I just don't think Alabama is going to have to put on the brakes for that offense because that offense is as nasty as it gets for
Yeah,
Alabama
that's
teams.
what I would consider if they had Jalen Waddle, who went out for the season. If
Ooh.
they had him healthy and just the rest of their team, I think this would be the best offensive Alabama team that we've seen in a while. At least for the weapons, their quarterback isn't like a Trevor Lawrence or anything, but the weapons that surrounds him are nasty.
Yeah, yes, that's nasty. But it sucks that Wisconsin also had weapons too, notably their quarterbacks. And then COVID hit. But
Yeah.
when they do play Michigan, do you think Wisconsin will beat Michigan?
This is going to be a very interesting game because other than the 5 touchdowns that we saw from Wisconsin and their quarterback, I don't know much about them, and we haven't seen them much either. I mean, that's only one game, and we've obviously seen both sides of Michigan, their
Yeah.
good side, and then their 24 point whatever favorites, and then lose to the rivals. So, um, should be. This is going to be interesting, dude. I don't know. I don't know who could win this one. It depends if Wisconsin is how they played in their first game. I feel like that would be the deciding factor. And if they're playing well, I think they can beat Michigan. But I would love to see that Wisconsin defense because if we saw it yesterday that Michigan, they can't throw the deep ball. They really can't. It's really short screens and runs. That's all they have. And Michigan State really exposed their weakness with their corners. If Wisconsin has fast wide receivers who can get out in the open field very fast, Wisconsin's going to take this one because Michigan yesterday, they could not cover a wide receiver for their life, which is, I think Wisconsin with those 5 touchdowns, it makes me feel, I have a promising feeling for Wisconsin to take this one.
Yeah, me too. After that Michigan State loss, I think Michigan season's already over.
I agree. I mean, I don't see them ever. I mean, if you're going 1-6 against Michigan State and Ohio State at home in Jim Harbaugh's career, you're not going to make the college football playoff. That's not going to happen. You saw how Michigan State made the college football playoff was that they were able to beat Ohio State and Michigan, not lose to them. So if Michigan continues their I don't know streak of losing to the top Big Ten teams, they're never going to do anything, which is why I got Wisconsin. I mean, they already lost to Michigan State. Who knows what's going to happen to them against Ohio State? This is just an ugly season already for Michigan. I think the season's over as well.
Yeah, from college football playoff favorite, co-favorite to I don't even know if they're going to be a top 20 team anymore.
I love it. I love it.
Oh man, I really wanted to see Michigan win the Big Ten too.
Ugh. Gross.
I know it's nasty.
Gross. Give me Minnesota. Give me
so-
Minnesota. I'd rather see Minnesota. Not for my connection, but I like what they did last year. But nonetheless, anything but Michigan. And I'd rather take Ohio State over Michigan, but still,
Oh
both of
no,
those teams
no.
pretty ugly in my opinion.
But Michigan's uglier.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're on opposite ends of the spectrum.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with staying loyal to my blood and just hating Michigan with all my heart, dude. I don't like them. Never will.
I'm a blue
Uh,
blood. You're a green blood. So.
that, yeah, dude. I'm not
Yeah,
looking forward to it. I don't like Michigan. I don't like Ohio State. That's gonna where I'm gonna leave off. I don't like Michigan. I don't like Ohio State. Done.
yeah, I get it. I get it. But you know what? You're not probably not done giving me an earful because we got to talk about what happened with the NFL. Let me start with my Carolina Panthers, bro.
Are you
Uh,
removing the fandom from your I don't know repertoire? Are you just taking them out of your catalog of, I wouldn't say bandwagon teams, but uniquely liked teams? Are you taking them out?
yeah, they're
Okay.
out. After losing to the Falcons, bro. It's oh boy.
The Falcons
Yeah,
aren't bad. They just have had some.
they're not
They just
bad.
have had some tough losses. I mean, blowing. I mean, they were up big on the Bears. The Bears came back. Todd Gurley made a mistake, and the Lions won. That's football is bound to have some mistakes in those games, and they aren't bad. They are not a bad team whatsoever, in my opinion. They're not bad, and
No.
I mean, they just have had some very tough losses. And the Panthers, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sorry, I didn't see anything. I know you know this, but I literally picked the Raiders in the first game against Carolina. I just didn't really see much out of Carolina. I think they are the greatest team, and the Falcons. They aren't bad. Like I said, they aren't bad, and it wasn't a bad game, but it proved where Carolina's at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta's just got to get healthy and get better
Yeah,
players.
dude, I
They got to
still
get
think they're
healthy.
done with Matt Ryan. I still think he's got to go. In my opinion, I think they should rebuild with a new quarterback, a younger quarterback. I think that's what they should do going forward. In my opinion.
Yeah, because it's not getting any easier, especially with all the quarterbacks in your own
Yeah.
division. You know what I'm saying? It's not getting it's not getting good.
No.
But yeah, other games have happened too, man. I mean, I don't even really want to talk about your Lions Falcons game, do we?
Yeah,
But
I mean, I basically really explained it. It was almost identical to the Penn State Indiana game. Todd Gurley runs it in with, I don't know, a minute left, with and then gives the ball back to Matthew Stafford, who has like 35 comeback wins in his career already. Um, no, yeah, I knew the game was over. I was like, thank you, Todd Gurley, for gifting us that touchdown. Sorry, the game's over. Matthew Stafford's just the most underrated quarterback in the league. And maybe not even quarterback, player. So underrated. Each week
mhm.
brings it, same intensity, never gives up. Matthew Stafford's just great.
Yeah, but you want to know what's also great? How about the finishes to those noon games?
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield dime, Steven Goskowski whiff, and Panther. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know.
I Are we surprised by Goskowski really missing that? He is. For I remember the game against the Broncos. Remember that? How many misses he had?
Oh my
I'm not.
gosh,
I
yeah, that
knew
dude
when he
was.
lined up. I was like, "There's a." I think not even a 50-50 chance he makes this. Maybe like a, I don't know, 30-70 chance he makes this. And that proved true because he missed the game. Was it game tying? Right, game tying to go over.
Game time, man.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't think their season's over. I think the Titans are still one of the best teams in the league. But man,
Oh yeah,
the Steelers, they've impressed me.
yeah. I'm done doubting them. I'm done doubting them for
Yeah.
now, and, eh, and that's not gonna last long. But yeah,
One
dude,
loss, no, they are
that
bad.
oh my gosh. Now they're not. They won't be bad if they lose one to the
Dude,
Ravens or the
that's gonna be a good
Browns.
game today.
Oh yeah, and we'll get to those picks later. But dude, I want to talk about the one highlight I've had for the last 2 weeks in my picks.
Yeah, go
Freaking
ahead.
Seahawks
Take the
Cardinals,
stage. Take the
bro.
stage.
Bro, Seahawks Cardinals. First of all, what a game! What a game! That game was crazy, bro.
I You already know I actually turned off the game going into overtime because I was tired. I kind of figured how the game would end if Russell Wilson got the ball, but didn't he throw like 3 or 4 interceptions? 3, right? 3
Three,
interceptions. That's not
three,
going to win you the game. That's not going to win you the
and
game.
and dude, all three of them were backbreakers. Two in the end
Mm.
zone. Two in the
Dude,
end
one almost got
zone.
returned for a
And
pick six, and then DK Metcalf came out like I don't know, a quarterback, a CB.
yeah, you know what? I mean, let's get this out the way. What is it with Russell Wilson, Glendale, Arizona, State Farm Stadium, and the 1 yard line?
I
What is it
just
about that
realized
one
that.
yard line?
I don't know that. Yeah, I have no words for that. That's a good point out. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude. I don't get it. But I mean, I've never seen Russell Wilson play that bad in my life watching a
Yeah,
full game.
he was. I still think he is, but probably the front runner for the MVP. And when you don't really see MVPs have bad games like that, like when the past 2 years, Patrick Mahomes and or Lamar Jackson, I don't recall them having a bad game where they throw like 3 interceptions. I don't. That's not going to win you games. If you expect to throw 3 interceptions and still win the game, that's not going to happen. It's that something needs to be fixed. I don't think he'll do it for the rest of the season. I don't know what happened there, but still a good quarterback, still a good team. A tough loss though. More impressive win though for the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, definitely. The way they won that game, dude. People want to say, "Oh, they feasted off the refs." Look, he leveraged and Buddy held.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's football. And the Cardinals, they definitely, did make the plays when they needed to. And bro, can we just acknowledge that Kyler Murray just did a 1 minute drill twice and executed it to perfection? Not a 2 minute drill, a 1 minute drill. One where he had 52 seconds in his own territory with no timeouts, and the other where he had to get like 20 yards to get his team in the field goal range with one timeout, with 50 something seconds left in overtime. Can we just acknowledge that Kyler Murray is
Dude,
clutch?
yeah, and he did it against the team whose quarterback he was compared to coming into the league. Because personally, I really didn't see Kyler Murray as an NFL quarterback because again, he's a little bit shorter. And then remember they made that big thing about in the combine about his hand size and if he could really grip the football. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see much in him in college to like think that he was going to be fantastic. But the Lions did face him in his first ever game in the NFL, and like you said, he is very good in those clutch situation. The 2 minute drill, he did the exact same thing against the Lions, where he was able to come back and take the game to overtime. I'm impressed. I really am. I'm happy for him too because he had a lot of doubters, but I right now he is also an MVP candidate. So I think that it's really cool what he's doing. I'm happy for him. I'm I like the Cardinals. I like what they're doing so far.
Yeah, I definitely did open your eyes to that because you thought I was crazy last week when
Yeah,
I picked them.
I did because not that you picked the Cardinals, but because you picked them against the Seahawks, who were undefeated and had a Russell Wilson MVP candidate on their team. I just thought there was no chance because look at it, the Cardinals lost to the Lions. I mean, sure, the Lions now they look like a decent team. They're 3-3, but still they lost to the Lions. I didn't see. I do you think the Lions right now they could beat the Seahawks? No, no,
Maybe.
no. You said no, no. I don't. No way. But I just the like I didn't see it happening, and I respect you for making the pick, and I'm glad you proved me wrong, and I really am. I really am.
Okay, let's flip the script, and I want you to make this quick, bro. What was that debacle we saw on Monday Night Football, bro?
Um, yeah. I don't even know, dude. To be honest with you, I don't have much recollection of that game.
Because yeah, dude, my homie turned off the game as soon as Nick Foles threw that ball in the end zone and it was intercepted.
Uh, oh yeah, the Bears and the Rams. Yeah, that was dude. I completely forgot about the game. Yeah, the
Are
Bears
you
and the
serious?
dude. I'm dead serious. Yeah, the Bears and the Rams. Yeah, that was a. Now thinking back at it, that was an interesting game. I was
Was
very,
it?
yes, I was very surprised by the Rams' success. I really was because I called them inconsistent, but from what I saw, I think kind of showed the Bears' true colors by yeah. I'm gonna leave it there. But the way that the Rams were driving up and down the field was very impressive. I'm gonna be honest with you, very very impressive. Also, Khalil Mack he kind of went off a little bit. He got consistent pressure on that Rams O line and Jared Goff. I was impressed by that, but man, I'm it's like the Rams are. I'm comparing them to the Steelers because they caught me off guard. Sure, the Rams have lost. They lost that close one against the Bills, but still, I'm surprised by their success because last year they were bad.
Yeah, they were bad, but turns out Bears might be a tad bit worse.
I like I said, I'm sorry. I have to bring this up every week, but I really don't have much faith in the Bears because look at how they won. They come back against the Falcons. Okay, that's still a win. They probably shouldn't have had to come back in the first place. And then they also beat the Lions opening day because DeAndre Swift drops the ball. They allow the Giants to have that last second drive and the Panthers, correct? Both the Panthers
Yeah.
and the Giants had like a last second drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see how those close wins can really make you a contender. I think good teams really prove themselves by blowing out good opponents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the Rams. Well, I don't know because how good are the Bears? I mean,
Yeah,
that's in question because they have a tough stretch next. They have a tough stretch, man. I see. I'm looking. I'm staring at 10-6, bro.
that's still not bad. That could still get you into the playoffs. I think it will,
It
but
could. It couldn't.
it, that's not bad. I think they just really need to have some of those more, I don't know, like good wins. Like they need solid good wins, not comebacks or allowing comebacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they need something. All right, let's make some picks, man, because this is about to get my head spinning. This is underwhelming actually. Patriots Bills.
Who would have ever said that in the last decade, 2 decades almost? Um, I think we both are going to take the Bills. I really thought the Patriots were going to continue their dominance because I thought honestly that I might get called crazy, but I thought Tom Brady was a bit of a system QB because of what Bill Belichick has been able to do with all of his teams. But this is literally, in my opinion, been his worst team that he's ever had to coach. And he coached the Browns back when, and other teams are like that. But this is the Patriots. You have a former MVP as your quarterback, and you're 2-4. I'm really blown away by that. The Bills, they've had 2 losses against 2 very tough teams, 2 straight losses against very tough teams. But the Patriots, Cam Newton looked terrible. I'm sorry, he looked
Yeah,
garbage. I thought he was going to be very good this year. I really did. I was happy to see him back starting for a team, but I don't think he's even going to start now. They've had 12 points or fewer in 3 straight games. No chance they beat the Bills. I'm not going to say that. Rephrase. I think the Bills will win this, but
it'll
it's
be ugly.
it's crazy to say. The Patriots. I am surprised. I'm like Bill. Where's Bill Belichick? Is he actually coaching this team? They don't look like it. Patriots look very bad. I like the Bills. I really like the Bills. I'm gonna take the Bills though.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills too. You want to know why? Because they are actually going to win the AFC East this year.
I like it. I agree.
And I think the Patriots. This is the dagger. This is the dagger game for the Bills. If the Bills lose this game, oh boy,
Yeah.
Miami's jumping.
It's interesting too because if the Patriots lose this, their season's over. In my opinion, their season is
Uh-huh.
done. If they win this, they still have a chance.
Yeah, this is weird because you usually talk about this situation the other way around
Yeah.
with the Bills trying to catch up to the Patriots, but I like that the tables have turned. I really do.
Me too. I mean, the tables have turned so much that the Jets are 0-7. Sorry, I had to take a dig on the Jets, but yeah,
They'll beat the Chiefs today. No, I'm just playing.
I agree. No, yeah, it's crazy. I love seeing Miami and the Bills in the top two in the AFC East. I love that so much. Um,
Yeah.
uh, wow, that I'm looking forward to how that division turns out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Miami to the 7th seed
I
playoffs.
love it. I I miss when they had the Ryan Tannehill days and they actually made the playoffs. And then
Yeah.
that didn't end up too well, but still, hey, I'm looking forward to how that division turns up or turns
Oh
out.
yeah. Both.
Both.
Um, but yeah, okay, let's go to the next game. Titans Bengals. This is not as easy of a pick as you would
Yeah,
think because Burrow's a stud.
he's had some tough luck. His defense is terrible. His O line is terrible. Really, and then his wide receivers want to be traded. I think
Not Ross.
John Ross, yeah, he wants to be traded. Sure, I don't blame him. But then you see AJ Green on the sideline saying like trade me. I don't know if he actually said it, but I would not be surprised because everyone but Joe Burrow has been pretty bad. Actually, Joe Mixon, he is a good running back, but other than those two, I don't see much in this team. Which is sad to say because they aren't that bad. They aren't that bad. Their defense has not. Their defense has really,
Failed
really,
them.
really failed them. That being said, I'm going to take the Titans. Sure, the Titans lost to the Steelers, but they were able to come back. It was a close game, missed tying field goal, and I still think the Titans are top 4 team in the league.
Yeah, the Titans are really good, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Titans too. Bounce back game for Steven Goskowski, you know what I'm saying? 3 for 3 type performance.
Mm-hmm.
Something. He's gotta get something going, man.
Yeah.
You would think. Gotta get something.
Yeah, he's been such a reliable and good kicker these I don't know past decade, and it's weird because as kickers age, they start to get really bad like quickly. Like we saw last year, Vinatieri for the Colts, how bad he was.
Yeah.
That was ugly. So it should be. I think their kicking is really the only thing that has killed them. Really, the
Yeah.
it's I if they get that straight, I think they could make a run for the Super Bowl if they haven't already proved that they can already.
Yeah, that should be really interesting. But we have two teams trying to run to the playoffs. How about the Raiders and the Browns?
I like this game a lot. I really do. I like both teams. But man, the Browns have a tough loss with Odell Beckham and tearing his ACL. That's
So,
so tough. That's really, and this was their best season in so long, and then they lose their best wide receiver. I mean, Jarvis Landry is good, but I don't know, man. That could be deflating or motivating. Either one. There's no in between. If if the Browns come out struggling, their season is in jeopardy,
I
in my
don't know.
opinion. Odell is one of their biggest weapons, if not their biggest, and has really helped Baker Mayfield out. Like really, really helped him out. And Baker Mayfield has been struggling last week. Okay, he won, but still, he threw a pick in his first pass attempt in back-to-back weeks. He doesn't look the greatest. I'm gonna take the Raiders though, even though they're 3-3. I think this is a good team. I really do. They have kept it close with almost every single opponent they've played, and they've had some really good wins.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Raiders too. People might think this might look like an upset pick, but
I don't think so.
you know,
Yeah.
considering the circumstances, this doesn't really feel like an upset. I mean, the Raiders are the only the only team to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not that bad. Like they can beat good teams. They just ran into a buzzsaw in the hot Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. But, the Raiders are a really good team. They've proven that. And when healthy, they can definitely get some things going. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Raiders too.
Okay. Nice.
But we also got a little interesting matchup here. A couple of blue blood. I don't know about blue bloods, but blue teams, Colts and the Lions.
Okay, I'm going to take the Colts. I think they're a fantastic team. From what they've done in the past few weeks, I mean, they're 4-2. I think they are fantastic. The Lions, they've lost 6 straight home games, which is the longest active streak. I don't see much out of that team. I mean, please get Matthew Stafford out of there. You know what I mean? Kenny Galladay. I heard that they were talking to the Giants or the Giants were trying to get some talks about Kenny Galladay, which is interesting. I don't know why the Giants would want a star wide receiver. I mean, what would that do? That would do nothing for them. They're
Nothing.
still going to be a bad team. But nonetheless, I think the Colts are very good. I think Phillip Rivers, sorry, some making me laugh. I think Phillip Rivers is a fantastic quarterback. He's had some good wins this year. They're 4-2. They look really good. That defense is nasty. Dude, I'm going to take the Colts, and this is not going to be close.
I don't know what to say. I don't know. I'll take the Colts.
Okay. Cool.
I'm marveled and stunned by your just absolute praise of the Colts. I think this is more of a jab at the Detroit Lions to get the anti-jinx going. But
no, no, the Colts are going to win this one. It's not going to be close. Go Colts. They're 4-2. Indianapolis is hyped right now.
Fine, I'll pick the Colts too. I'll pick the Colts. But we got a nasty game that is actually going to be on my local listings. Freaking Vikings and the Packers, bro. Come on.
You called this nasty, right? This game is nasty. Is that good nasty?
Bad nasty.
Okay.
Bad nasty. Like I would hope. Game.
I wouldn't even blame you if you don't watch this game. This game is terrible. I'm really surprised by the Vikings. I really am. I thought they were good. I really did. I didn't know that. Okay, they did lose some key players, but still, to be 1-5 at this point in the season, ugly. That's really bad. I'm shocked by that. The Packers, they are as good as they've been. I mean, this is kind of normal for them to come out hot, but the Vikings, ugly. This is going to be an ugly game. Packers by far.
Yeah, I agree. Packers, easy game. Freaking walk in the park, walk in Lambeau. Here comes Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Wow, what a joke. But, okay, let me get to the game of the week real quick. Got the New York Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
Curtis
go.
Martin versus Priest Holmes. Chad Pennington versus Trent. Oh, wait, this is not 2003. This is 2020. Oh, yeah, Chiefs win. My bad.
No, what are you talking about? Sam Darnold, top 5 quarterback in the league. He's just proved all the haters right. 0-7. This team is bad. I still think they have a really good chance to go 0-16. The Chiefs, 6-1, really good team. I still think they have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Jets are terrible. Terrible usually is less than good. So I'm going to I think that the Chiefs are greater than the Jets by the transitive property.
Wow. You know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets didn't let the Bills score a touchdown last
week. I did see that. I was surprised by that myself. I don't even know what to say about that. I was shocked. I was like, are the Bills really going to lose this one?
Yeah, that was looking real scary too. And this is a game that the Chiefs can easily overlook. I mean, they didn't overlook Denver in the snow last week, but I mean, Denver's not New York.
This could be a revenge game though. Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, this could get a little interesting.
Watch Le'Veon go for like 200 yards today.
Oh, Adam Gase is going to be kicking himself like
fired after the game for sure.
Yeah, this would be a terrible look for the Jets organization, man. But you know what would happen if the Jets actually beat the Chiefs? Real talk.
Where are they playing this game?
It's in Kansas City.
Okay, then the entire city of Kansas City has to riot. That entire city is going to be burned down by tomorrow. If the Chiefs lose this one, I think I would probably retire from watching the NFL. Honestly, I have never watched a team. I can't even say I've watched a team because I haven't watched one game of the Jets because they are so bad. The Jets are so bad. I couldn't name one player other than Sam Darnold. They are not good. They won't be good for a while. especially with Adam Gase as their head coach. That's not going to happen. They are terrible. If they somehow win this game, congrats Adam Gase on one win.
One win.
One win.
Yeah, but that'd be a bad look on the Chiefs, though. Real talk.
Yeah, it would.
Oh,
But, dude,
I don't
literally
know.
Kansas City, the entire city needs to riot because if this happens, it's basically equivalent to a Super Bowl win or Super Bowl win for the Jets.
Oh yeah, definitely. They'll be doing a little bit of talking before they get blown out the very next week. But we're gonna stick with the AFC East because Tua's got a tough test with the Rams, man. Rams Dolphins.
Dude, I feel bad for Fitzmagic, man. He was rolling, and then he gets pulled. Do you? That's like Blake Snell and Kevin Cash.
You know that's not a bad comparison because Ryan Fitzpatrick wasn't that bad, bro. He wasn't that bad. They're 500. They won their last 2 games.
They are on a roll, and he has helped them so much. Right now, technically, I would consider him the best backup QB in the league. If however long he stays a backup, I mean, who knows? Maybe Tua will play very well. I hope he does, but I don't know if I agree with the choice, especially in this timing. I would agree if they were like, I don't know, 1-5. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that move, but you have a chance to make the playoffs, and then you decide to bench your I wouldn't consider a star QB, but definitely one of your best players on the team for a rookie who has played about, I don't know, 4 snaps, 3 snaps. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't either. And that's why I'm gonna probably pick the Rams today because after what they did to the Bears, I mean, who knows? The Rams are so inconsistent at times. I don't know.
And the Dolphins are so unpredictable. Dude, I don't even know who I'm going to pick. I kind of want to pick the Dolphins, but I think I'm going to play it safe and take the Rams.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it safe and take the Rams too because I've made some pretty bad picks in this same situation with different teams. So
Yeah, don't take the boldness. Don't let the boldness overtake you.
yeah, I'm gonna pick the Rams because what I saw last week, when they're on,
Yeah.
and all that motion, all that movement. I mean, I don't know. The Dolphins might be able to do better than the Bears. I don't know, man. This I expect the Dolphins to put up a fight because
I
they
do.
put up a
I
fight with
agree.
these NFC West teams, man.
I definitely agree as well. I mean, I'm excited to see Tua. I really am, but I don't think it's the right move. But whatever happens, it should I'm looking forward to see how Tua plays in the NFL because in my opinion, it was tank for Tua last year. I thought he was the best prospect going in. Then he gets hurt and then kind of drops his draft stock. But however he plays, I'm looking forward to him being an NFL QB finally.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it, but I also can't wait to see the good old fashioned AFC North rivalry and Steelers Ravens. This is a big one. This is a big one.
This is one of the. I think this is one of the biggest games for both of these teams in years. Wow, this is going to be really good. I don't know. I'm trying not to doubt the Steelers, but again, we said last week would be a prove it game, but I think this one is the actual prove it game. If they can somehow get to 7 and this one, I'm sure of it, and then watch them win. I'm going to say the exact same thing next week, right? Or it did too. Or watch us come back, and they're still undefeated. I'm still going to say that whoever they play is going to be a prove it game, right? So, I'm going to take the Ravens. I think the Ravens know the Steelers pretty well. They haven't played this year, but I think they know them pretty well. I'm going to take the Ravens, though. You probably wouldn't consider an upset, but I guess technically it is 5-1 versus 6-0. I'm going to take the Ravens. Sure, the Ravens have that one loss, tough loss, but this is going to be a good game. And I'm not going to do a blowout or anything. I think it's going to be a good game. I got the Ravens.
I mean, this isn't like the Steelers' other quote unquote tests because this is an actual, proven powerhouse over the years, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
Because the Ravens have, obviously this is a divisional rival, so that's different. That's one thing.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we're going to see Lamar Jackson versus Ben Roethlisberger. Finally, we
The
get to see.
first time, or wow, I didn't even realize that. That's crazy.
Yeah, because it was just like, dang, dude, when are they gonna mix it up? But shoot, man, this is gonna be a good game. I'm gonna take the Ravens though,
All
man,
right.
because I think that Ravens defense is carrying, bro.
Yeah.
Although they got torched by Mahomes, who doesn't get torched by Mahomes. Um, that I mean, this is the real proven game for the
Yeah,
Steelers.
dude, I knew I wasn't alone.
Yeah, I mean the Steelers are having proven games left and right,
Dude,
and
yeah.
they've won them.
I think this
But
one will actually be like this is against a division rival. Sure, the Titans, but we didn't know much about the Titans because of the COVID stuff, and they haven't really been tested. This one is the actual proving game.
yeah, and I'll tell you what, if the Steelers win this game, they have a good shot at that number one seed.
Yeah.
Good shot, like a really, really good shot. But this is this used to be a very interesting AFC West matchup, but it's kind of dimmed down over the years. Chargers Broncos.
I don't know why. I just like both. I don't know if it's like the colors or whatnot. I just like hearing that matchup. Like that's a good matchup.
Yeah.
2-4 for both these teams. I think the Chargers are better than what their record says.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos, I'm surprised they've won 2 games. I honestly,
Dang.
they've won 3 of the last 4 against the Chargers. But I really don't think the Broncos are that good. They have had so many injuries. I mean, I was watching a little bit of the game last week, and Drew Lock got hurt, and then he stayed in, but still, their injury, they have a lot of injuries. Again, I think the Chargers are better than what their record says at 2-4. I'm going to take the Chargers though. I really like what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna take the Chargers because I think I'm gonna put Justin Herbert over Drew Lock right
Yeah.
now. Justin Herbert is looking real good right now, man.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, he's exceeded expectations in my mind.
Me too.
I mean, he hasn't been blowing up the league like Mahomes did, but he's getting there, bro. I
Sneakily.
think he's getting there.
Yeah, I've said this before. I didn't really see much of like. Sure, he won the Rose Bowl, but I really didn't see much in him as an NFL quarterback. But he has sure proved me wrong. He's good.
Yeah, and hey, the Chargers, assuming that they're on track to get like a top 15 pick, hey, they could go out draft another wide receiver or a defensive linebacker or something. I don't know. Get another piece on their team next season. They could be real dangerous, and they're healthy. Get what I'm saying, Derwin James back. They look out for this Chargers team, man. I'm gonna keep saying this all year. Just look out for this Chargers team in the future.
Yeah.
But this is the present, and we have a big game right now here with the Saints and the Bears.
All right. You know how I mentioned I want to see this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but this is kind of an ugly matchup because both of these teams, I think, I don't think their record does, or I don't think their record does them any justice, in my opinion.
No.
Both of these teams have looked really bad at times, and both of these teams have looked good at times. You know what I mean? And this is very tough. The Bears, they've had some close wins. Same with the Saints. The Saints were also down like 14 against the Lions in the first like 3 minutes of the game. The Bears were down against the Lions, down double digits as well. This is a tough one. Oh my gosh, dude, I don't even know.
I'm picking the Saints, and I don't think it's going to be close.
Really? Wow.
Look, the Bears' offensive line is heavily injured. Cody Whitehair's not going to play. James Daniels got a little hurt, banged up, dude. And our offense was already bad enough. Now we're getting Dallas cowboyed. Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna win this. I don't think they're gonna win this game.
Dude, talking about the we, I've never actually like relied on you for like a pick, but I honestly have no idea. So I'm gonna take your word on it, and I'm going to pick the Saints as well.
You just picked the Rams over the Bears last week.
Dude, I don't know about this one because I think the Rams are 10 times better than the Saints. The Saints have not proved to be good in my opinion. They beat the Chargers barely. I really they lucked out a lot. And sure, they got Drew Brees, but Drew Brees doesn't look good in my opinion. And same with the Bears. I don't know what to think about them because they've had some bad losses. They've had some close wins that weren't really great. So I'm going to pick the Saints. I'm going to take your word on the injuries because I don't know much about I don't know much about the inside of the Bears and who's hurt or who's not. I'm going to take your word on it. I'm going to take the Saints as well, but I'm not confident. I think this one is a toss-up. You think
it is a toss up, but I don't know why I sense of bad confidence because even though Michael Thomas and Marquise Callaway are not going to play this game, I have a bad feeling that Bears defense is going to have to carry the whole game and be out there for like 35, 40 minutes.
I could see that as well. I mean, Alvin Kamara, he, in my opinion, exploits defenses. Like, the way he can just get so many yards in like a short amount of time, he's just a dangerous player, and I think he might do some damage against the Bears today.
Speaking of dangerous, 49ers Seahawks, this is another NFC West showdown.
I don't know. This one is weird as well because the 49ers, they've had some impressive wins, and they've also had some bad losses. I mean, they're 4-3. The Seahawks, they had a pretty bad loss last week. I think I'm going to take the Seahawks, though. I think it's going to be a close one, though. I don't think this will be a blowout. I do think there's a possibility that the 49ers can upset them. I'm just going to take the Seahawks. They're 5-1. Other than last week, they've looked very good.
I think that possibility could become a reality. I'm going to pick the 49ers.
Okay.
Because I think they have a lot of weapons on that offensive side of the ball. More than you probably think because they have been heavily, injured throughout this season. And yeah, while that may be true, they've proved... Actually, no, wait a minute. Deebo Samuel is out. Never mind. I'm picking the Seahawks. Oh, crap.
Dude, hey, last time you flipped the pick, it kind of worked out. So I think this one is a toss-up. I think there's a chance for a 49er upset, but I'm going to take the Seahawks.
Yeah, I want to see some bonus coverage.
Again, this time I will watch.
Thank you. But I don't know if you will watch this one because this is a bad primetime slot. This is Cowboys Eagles on Sunday Night Football.
What are you talking about, dude? I'm going to watch this one. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to this outstanding matchup. Whoever the Cowboys have as a quarterback now, I don't know. I think both of these teams are fantastic. The Eagles, even though they're heavily injured and they really don't have an O-line or a defense, I think they are fantastic. No, I'm kidding. All that was satirical. This is a terrible matchup. Whoa. This is terrible. Both of these teams are garbage. I don't know who the Cowboys have as a quarterback now. Andy Dalton's hurt. Obviously, Dak Prescott's hurt. The Eagles, O-line terrible, as I mentioned. Their defense not that good. This is an ugly game. Whoever wins this, good for you. I think it's going to be the Eagles, though. I'm not taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, I agree. Philadelphia is going to win this one, man, because I don't think Ben DiNucci is going to lay an egg on primetime.
Wait, who?
I don't think he's going to.
Who?
Ben DiNucci.
Who? Who's that?
My boy, the rookie. This. Remember, I don't know if you ever played Madden 19, but Madden 19, the long shot mode.
Okay.
Devin Wade.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do. Yeah.
This is basically that scenario times 2.
Yeah.
Bro, my boy Ben DiNucci. I don't think he'll come out and throw 3-4 interceptions. I don't think so. It wasn't. I mean, Cowboys had a pretty bad loss to the Washington football team last week, so
yeah.
Yeah, I think the Eagles will take control of the NFC East. This is now their division to win.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh because you were saying that I was looking at the Eagles record and he said you think they can take control with being 3-4-1 if they win. That
is laughable, bro.
Oh my gosh, that is terrible. Oh man,
that is bad. But you want to know what's even more laughable? The Monday Night Football matchup that we got. Freaking Buccaneers and Giants, bro.
So it makes no sense to me. They have these terrible matchups, and I can't remember the last time a prime time matchup was actually pretty close. I'm talking about on the weekdays, obviously last Sunday, but like a Monday or a Thursday night game have the past, I don't know, month has been very ugly.
Hmm.
This one will continue to be very ugly. The state of New York is probably in shambles right now. I mean, all of their sports teams are not the greatest. Sure, the Islanders, made it almost to the Stanley Cup, but this this city,
That
the
was
state
good.
is not looking good. I mean, uh, 1-6, other teams 0-7. I got the Buccaneers, and it's not going to be close.
You wouldn't think the Bucks would lose this game, right?
If
This,
if Daniel Jones trips on himself, then yes.
oh my gosh, yeah, bro. Well, I mean, realistically, the Giants need to stop Tom Brady, but I don't think that's gonna
I mean,
happen,
they've done
man.
it twice before, right?
Oh, hey, I mean, they got that, but this is not the Super Bowl, man. This is week 7, or I'm sorry, week 8, and you are beat up. You are trash. You're still in the divisional race somehow, even though you're in last place, and everybody else has 2 wins to your 1. But hey, if you win this game, big momentum boost. Watch out for the New York Giants, but I don't think that's going to happen. The Bucks roll, and they are going to go 6-2.
Okay, nice.
Okay, in our last game, finally we get a half decent Thursday night football game. Packers Niners.
Half decent. I like that because, I mean, we saw what happened last year. That was a very good game by the 49ers to get to the Super Bowl.
Are you
Uh,
kidding me?
mm. You know what? This could destroy my picks for this week, but I'm going to take the 49ers in an upset. I don't know why. I have a gut feeling. I like the 49ers. I just have confidence in them, honestly. What confidence?
Hey,
I don't know, but it's there. Just know it's there.
hey, look. I don't think the Packers have gotten any better compared to
I
last
don't
year
either.
because it's the only thing that's happened is that Aaron Rodgers is playing out of his mind and it's showing.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I've seen. Other than that, defense is not all that great.
Mm-mm. Their
Defense has
first
always
their
been
first
overrated.
draft pick was a quarterback.
Dude, they busted themselves and shot themselves in the foot with that one.
Imagine if they had a star wide receiver next to Devontae Adams. This team would
Bro,
be probably the best in the league. But instead, they decided to draft a quarterback who probably won't get playing time for the next 3 years. So
exactly, bro. And that's what I don't understand. And you know what? We're finally going to agree on an upset, a major upset. Because you would think that the Packers will win this game, but I don't know, man. The Niners dialed up their numbers twice last year in prime time.
yeah,
Prime time,
yeah.
not just your regular 325 slot game in California. No, we're talking NBC Sunday Night Football gave them the, and then NFC Championship gave them the. I mean, it was bad. So I don't know. That Niners defense is still there intact, even though there's no Bosa.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I think this one, I just have an upset feeling. Dude, you know what really annoys me? Packers fans are always so confident year after year just for their team to let them down. It's so funny to me. They are one of the most confident fan bases in the world, and it really is annoying. So I'd love them to get humbled this week or Thursday.
How about both?
Both. I would take both as well.
Yeah, I don't know about the Vikings though. But speaking of mascots, hey, you have a question for us about mascots?
Yeah, I did. I mentioned how this one is a pretty easy question, one of my easier questions. So it was, who is the only mascot to ever make the cover of NCAA football? This one is tough. Actually, it's not.
Uh,
It was Brutus. No, I'm kidding. Jotham, you were wrong. It was Sparty, and I think, in my opinion, Sparty's the most iconic and greatest mascot in college football.
whoa, oh dang, what a claim! What a
So,
claim! I mean,
I'm
hey,
making that bold. I'm making that bold claim. I'm doing the hot takes because that's what we do here on Top of the Standings. I just think he's so iconic. I mean, he's been on the cover of video games. He's been on the cover of Sports Illustrated. If you're not a big college sports fan, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to know who Sparty is, right? I just think he's the most iconic mascot. If you see him anywhere, you're like, oh, that's Sparty. I don't know why. I just think he's the most iconic. I think he's the greatest mascot, and I think that proved when he got put on the cover of NCAA football.
Wow, that was very interesting.
Who would you say is the most iconic mascot? Because I'm interested.
I'm sorry, but I just think the look, the structure of Brutus Buckeye is just, I mean, dude is literally a nut.
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally a nut. I mean, that's crazy, but it worked out so well.
Yeah.
Wait, are you that thrown off by that?
Dude, no, it was just the way you just said it. You were like, what makes him so like distinguishable is that he is a nut. You sounded so like excited about that, dude. I don't know. I just think Sparty's the greatest mascot in history. I'm saying
I
history,
don't blame you.
but you know who actually has a good mascot? This is just random. Gritty for the Flyers in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
The creepiest mascot, but also the greatest and probably in the NHL right now. Gritty is fantastic, great mascot. But again, the answer to the trivia question was Sparty, and again, most iconic mascot.
That's a pretty hype mascot right now.
Yeah. Oh yes, you bet. Him and Paulie B are hanging out.
Yeah, definitely. But for my trivia question, I'm actually gonna stick on the Michigan State train.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask, when was the last time that Michigan State beat Michigan and Ohio State beat Penn State on the exact same day?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm assuming they don't really play each other on the same day often. I do feel like this one is a little bit more recent though, because Michigan State, if just analytics in my brain, Michigan State I believe has won 8 of the last 10 matchups against Michigan. So with that logic, I'm gonna say it's sometime in this decade.
So somewhere in the 2020s. No, I'm just playing. I know what you mean.
Yes, yesterday. No, that was the last time, technically. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, sometime in the 2010s.
I see what you mean. But yeah, we're gonna take a while to uncover that. But yeah, dude. Obviously, we talked about a lot. I didn't think we were gonna get longer, but it got longer.
Hey, I mean, season finale. I'm not mad at it. I'm glad we went a little bit longer. I mean, the fans deserve it. They have been supporting top of the standings for 16 weeks straight. Hey, Jotham and I love to do this. This is so much fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially when I get to sit back, lick my chops, and just watch sports for fun.
Hey, and then talk about it then the next week or whenever. Like if you're watching, whenever. Like this is what we do. We enjoy talking about sports. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, it's very fun, especially during the pandemic. But this is just one season, man. I want to see how far we can take this.
I'm telling you, the listeners, season 2 is going to be a lot better. I think we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. A lot of different things coming up. I'm looking forward to it, Jotham. I know you are. This is gonna be something else. Season 2 is gonna be fantastic.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. Same time next week. Oh, wait a minute. We're taking a weeks off, aren't we? For the development of the next season.
2 weeks, right? That'd be 22nd. Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be souping up some things for you guys.
Yeah. So same time in in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support. I mean, we almost had over 500 total plays in 16 episodes, and we've done this every single week for 16 straight. So thank you guys so much, and we'll be back and better than ever. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or any other streaming device. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social medias at Top of the Standings on Twitter and at Top of the Standings on Instagram and Facebook. This has been Top of the Standings. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. 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 And we'll see